Hi, Shell.
And hello to all you other wonderful weirdos watching.
So, the 10 Untouched Book Tag. I got tagged by Steve from Heroic Book Adventures. Thank you very much for tagging me. This is actually my first tag video that I've actually been tagged. I normally just find a tag I like and I just do it. This is actually quite different. Yeah, so this prompt is just one question to present the 10 books that have been on my shelf for over a year, which these are my to be read shelves right behind me. On the other side of this is my read shelf. So all of these have probably been on my shelves for over a year anyways. So I have quite a conundrum of which 10 I shall present for this tag. So let's kick it off with an oldie but a goodie, and a brick at that. Dune, and I gave myself a concussion whilst doing that as a joke. I should stop doing that as a joke. I have this amazing copy, this bind up of the Great Dune trilogy. I asked for this. I can't remember if it was a Christmas or birthday present, but it was a little while ago, and my man delivered. It is a giant book and a mammoth at that. Probably why I haven't got around to it yet. I think I asked for it when the first movie was due to release, and I caught up in the hype of trying to read Dune before the film. The second movie has been out for a while. They've started filming the third movie, and I still have yet to pick this up. I have enjoyed the first movie. I went to see it in the cinema, which was really great fantasy epic, done beautifully. And the second movie, I did technically go see it in a cinema. It wasn't technically a proper soundproof cinema, because the first time me and Shell went to Amsterdam, we decided to go see Dune 2, part 2 of Dune, and it was an experience because we were on the ferry, and so when the Dune worms came up or the ground was shaking on the screen, we were going backwards and forwards, going up when the boat was going over a wave. It was such a cool experience. Do not recommend it as a first experience because we could hear the other movie that was next door because it's not soundproof very well, but it was really good. Just as a really cool experience. 10 out of 10. Watch Dune whilst on a ferry. But yeah, book 1, Dune by Frank Herbert. It's very intimidating, this bind up. I should have just got individual books. Okay, so this has been on my shelf for quite some time now. Probably back when it first released, because I remember buying it in Waterstones. And it's Stephen King's The Institute. And I read the back of this and thinking, this is right up my alley. Don't know why. I think it's something to do with an institution that they get stuck in and they're trying to escape. And I did really enjoy that kind of thing at the time. I'm currently reading Night Shift as my short story Saturdays, and the first book I picked up of Stephen King's was The Girl Who Loved Tom Gordon. It's one of the newer releases of King, so it's on the I'm very intrigued. Okay, I need to move a plant for this next one. I'm sensing a pattern with the books I'm selecting for this because they're very, 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 very chunky. And so the third book for this tag is... Am I going to break this table? So, the entire Earthsea by Ursula K. Le Guin. I just read Rocannon's World back in June, and it is amazing. It was like sci-fi in scope, fantasy in feeling on the world Roccannon was on. So it's very sci-fi fantasy, that one. And so to dive into Ursula K. Le Guin's pure fantasy would be amazing. And I've heard really great things about Earthsea, to the point where I don't know why I didn't pick this up to start with. But again, I think it's like Dune. It kind of puts you off a little. Also, really cool. picture on the inside there. So the funny story behind this particular book, this particular hardback, I actually had a bind up of the first 4 books of Earthsea, and then my friend at work, he said that he doesn't have any books he's not read anymore. He's ran out of books on his own collection that he just has not read. So I started lending him books, and that was one of the books I lent him. And he said, you can hear the seagulls, and he basically told me that he accidentally bashed the book about a bit too much as he was reading it, because he does to put his books in his bag and take them to work, and yeah, the books he reads gets a bit of a beating, and I don't mind that. And to say sorry, he bought me this and I'm just like, this is probably the greatest apology I've ever gotten. But at the same time, he was just like very envious that he was giving it to me, because when it arrived, he was just like, do I even give it to you? Because he was wanting to keep it, and I don't blame him. It's amazing. I just haven't got around to it. Again, it's just too big and I don't want to damage it. But yeah, I'm going to start moving the stack. Okay, so book 4 on this list is 6 of Crows. I kind of bought this. Actually, I've originally bought this. Moving another plant. In this copy to start with, because I found it in Waterstones, saw it was pretty, and I was looking forward to buying it anyways because it got very highly praised on BookTube at the time. I just didn't get the second one in this beautiful copy. So I did actually get my hands on both of these. I believe they were secondhand, but I was just shocked by the good condition they were in. And I have seen the Netflix adaptation of Shadow and Bone, the other Grishaverse trilogy, but it does contain characters from these books, and I loved that part of the adaptation, and I got very invested, and I just really want to read these 2 so badly. It's just on the never-ending list of things that are so awesome. So yeah, I did read a Grishaverse book. I have read this book from Grishaverse, The Language of Thorns by Leigh Bardugo. This is like the Grishaverse fairy tales. So this universe, so this fantasy world has lore. This world has its own folk tales, and it's beautiful. I enjoyed this. I just love fairy tales, and seeing a different type of fairy tales in action was brilliant. Also, just the illustrations going around them is beautiful. The illustrations progress as you continue on with that story, and then the change in the next story, it's so cool. So I did enjoy this particular one, but I am yet to read 6 of Crows by Leigh Bardugo. Why have I not picked this up yet? It's about a casino gangster pulling off a heist. I should be reading this now. I think this is on my immediate TBR, so it's literally might be happening the moment I put down the Farseer trilogy. Potentially. I don't know. I should not have stacked these. Okay, so this next one is a book I have not heard anybody talk about, and that is Stone Junction by Jim Dodge. I think it's Dodge, yeah. And I just bought this in the Norwich Book Hive, which I think it was around the time when I was in university, because I joined a little art exhibition that was going to be displayed in that window of that bookshop. I did not like my piece at all, but I just rolled with it. But around that time, I believe I bought this. And it is Alliance of Magicians, Outlaws. It is an introduction to a world of revenge, revolution, and mind-bending magicians and mind-bending chemicals, where anarchists, alchemists, and high-stake gamblers coexist. This seems pretty cool, and I had a nice little snippet of praise from the bookseller who sold me this book, because I was interested in it just from the blurb, but knowing that the bookseller also read it and enjoyed it, why have I not picked it up? I've had this since university, for Christ's sakes. Anyways, okay, I'm going to mix it up a bit by switching mediums. And so this next one, book 6, is the 5th season, my audiobook by N.K. Jemisin. I did get caught up in the hype by a booktuber praising this to high heavens, and this particular series is apparently very clever because they have first person perspective, second person perspective, and third person I've said perspective too many times. Apparently that is done so cleverly in this trilogy that I think I tried to buy them physically, but I couldn't find them in the charity shops because I always buy my books secondhand if I can. But I ended up getting them all on audios anyways. So also, I did actually get more hyped by the author when I got one of those annoying YouTube adverts that come in front of the video that you so desperately want to watch. But it was the masterclass advert, and I didn't skip that advert because it was N.K. Jemisin herself with her own masterclass, and she spoke the first line of this novel, and I was blown away by it.
Let's start with the end of the world, why don't we? Get it over with and move on to more interesting things.
What is more interesting than the end of the world? Do I start singing for this? Because I want to start singing right now. I listened to the soundtrack of the Witcher series quite a few times. It is so cool. I love it. But I've got the set. I have almost the full set. I think I'm missing like 2. And the reason why I have these covers and then this random cover is because this was my birthday present, and they couldn't find this copy. I think this is the works edition or something, but as you can see, this looks a bit weird. It's fine. So I should have looked up how you say the first name. Andrzej Sapkowski. Sorry if I butchered that a little bit. Do let me know if I did butcher that. I do want to learn how you pronounce things. So, the Witcher series. Again, another series I have seen on Netflix and loved. And I never really watched a review of anything. I just knew that people were really shouting about this series. And so the interesting thing is I just want to expand because I've seen the Netflix show and loved it so much that I just want to find that source material again. And so I've been collecting the series, and I don't have to get all of the books to start it. I don't need to do that, no. But it is just one of those things that I was trying to get all of the books so I can start it. So it's not I haven't got around to it. It's I haven't got all of the books to read the whole thing. Even though that's lunacy, really, because what happens if I read this one and I don't like it? I should just read it, just start. It's just lunacy to the point where, so I bought a Witcher dagger. It's got the emblem on there and everything from the York weapons shop, or the prop weapon shop, but it's really cool nerdy shop and I love it, and you can get all kinds of stuff from there. I'm pretty sure I bought a pair of nunchucks from there, even though I've not read the book, but I enjoyed the series so much. I bought the knife, the prop knife, and it's just been sitting on my shelf for so long. So yeah, do I put the entire series on the stack here, or do I just, because it says 10. I mean, I did do it with Six of Crows, but that was a duology. I'm gonna put these back on the shelf. This does seem like a really cool series. Here we go. Toss a coin to your witcher. I sang anyways. Okay. Next up we have The Greenborn Saga by Fonda Lee. This is definitely I got caught up in the YouTube hype. I got caught up in the YouTube hype, and I'm not ashamed to admit that. It is a really cool sounding series of gangsters with a cool magic system, urban fantasy. I've not read, I don't think I've read urban fantasy yet. I am very interested in getting to know this series. It's just, again, I haven't gone around to it. I bought the whole series. I think Daniel Green just recently said that if you do read this book, you want to keep reading and reading and reading. It is that type of series, to the point where at that time this was so popular, it ended up on people's top 10 list of best fantasy series of all time. Hell, I've seen it, people say it's in their top 3 of all time. So yeah, I'm hyped. Okay, number 9. What am I choosing? Okay, I'm going to go a personal one this time. And that is the Shannara books that my dad bought me. Because this is his series. This is the series he loves. This is the series he has read all of the books. He is mad about this series, and when I became a reader, he got very excited about sharing this with me. And I haven't picked it up since he bought it for me, and I'm just, yeah, he's even gone as far as like giving me his copies after he's read them. Like, they're in my wardrobe at home. If you've seen my YouTube vlog, if you saw my holiday vlog, I've got like I have shelves in my wardrobe that's just dedicated to all of the books. He's given me his Master and Commander books. Basically, once he's done with a book, he will just like put it in my wardrobe ready for when I come home, and that includes the Shannara books. This is the prequel, and this is the trilogy that comes with the prequel, and it's got multiple series to it. It's one world, multiple series. I think it's kind of like the Realm of the Elderlings in that way, because you've got different collections of books, have their own contained like storyline, that their own through plot that connect to each other, but it still connects to each other in different ways because it's on the world. And I feel so guilty that I have not read it, because my dad is so passionate about it. I've not told him that Terry Brooks is retiring and has released his last book for Shannara, even though Shannara will continue with another author. I don't have the heart to tell him. How do I tell him? So yeah, the books of Shannara that my dad bought me, I have not. So hilariously enough, the first book, I'm pretty sure it's this one, The Sword of Shannara, is often described as a Lord of the Rings ripoff, because it's sword and sorcery. It is like a proper run-of-the-mill carbon copy of Lord of the Rings. But after that, it gets so unique in its own world building and stuff and storytelling. I don't know. I just haven't had a chance to pick it up yet to explore that. Apparently this is a Lord of the Rings ripoff, and then it goes on and does its own thing from there. I'm excited for it, but yeah. We did actually get to see the series that was released. I think we only saw this first series of it, but I think that was the Elfstones of Shannara that it was adapting. So, or at least I think it was. Yeah, I think it might have been. Oh God. I knew this was going to be on the list from the moment I got tagged, and so I knew this was going to be on my list. It's kind of my shame. It's something you would have thought I have already read, but I haven't. And if you saw my bookshelf tour type thing, you'd know just by me saying this is my TBR that I haven't read this. But following on from Shannara, I thought it feels fitting. So I've not read Lord of the Rings. Once again, my dad bought me this exact box set. In fact, he bought me this. So when I first went to university, my parents drove me there and stuck around to help me get all the things I needed for my student house. And one of the things that we did was go into Gerald's book section, and my dad bought me a box set of Lord of the Rings. So, this has been on my shelf since 2013. Yeah, I did read The Hobbit last year. I just haven't got around to Lord of the Rings. I do have the trilogy set, not the full binding, which should, in theory, make things easier for me as a person who gets through big books difficulty. Did you know I'm a big Lord of the Rings fan? Like, me and my dad and my brother would have Lord of the Rings Day where we got up early, we put on the extended editions to run through the whole day. Yeah, we were that kind of nerd. Yeah, I've not read Lord of the Rings. Let's not dwell too much on it. It's another thing I realise about not reading it is you can only read Lord of the Rings for the first time once, and I think that's why I'm scared of it. It's like I want to really romanticize my first read through. I don't know why. It's just the one item on my bucket list is to go all the way to New Zealand to go to Hobbiton. That's on my bucket list. So yeah, I have a bit of a stack here. So yeah, I should probably take this out of there just because it's tech. There we go. This is my 10 books. Can I actually pick up the whole stack? Oh boy. It's not sturdy because I've got the Institute underneath Earthsea. So yeah, that's my stack of 10 books I've not read, and that's been on my TBR for more than a year. Oh dear. So yeah, these are the books I have not read, even though I've had them on my shelf for over a year. At least it fell in the opposite direction of my books, but not in the opposite direction of my phone. Let's see how waterproof that is. Very waterproof. Good thing I got this case. Since my channel has so few people watching at the moment, since I'm still quite a small channel, I feel weird tagging other people. If you have a YouTube channel that talks about books, or maybe if you don't have a channel that talks about books and you just have a normal YouTube channel. So yeah, if you want to do this tag, you ready?